Another way you can get more revenue from AdSense is adding the AdSense search box, or the Google search box. Now I use it in a particular way by actually using it on my 404 page. This is a page that you use if a page isn't found on your site, or somebody tries to type something in on your site and they don't find the page. This is the page they get. And what happens is you get a search box, and you can either search your particular site or search the web. So let's just say somebody was looking for golf tips on seniority and they couldn't find it and they landed on this page by accident. They would click search. Google then goes off and searches your site from the information it has in its index, and as you can see it gives various results for that, but it also gives you these particular ads. And if anybody clicks on these, you obviously get paid. So it's a nice way to get a little bit more revenue from AdSense. Now I've used it on a 404 page. You could put it on your home page, or there's various different places you can put the search box. You need to check the terms and conditions. You can't put it, for example, on a register page or an opt-in page, things like that. But most places you'll be okay putting it. You'll be safe putting it on there. I haven't used it massively, so it doesn't generate a massive amount of revenue for me. I prefer to focus on other areas, other types of ads. But even on the 404 page, it still makes me a few dollars every day by people that run the search and then end up actually clicking on the ads. Okay, let's take a look at some more examples. This is in an actual links directory that I've got, and I just wanted to show you this for this. This is an ad links unit. Remember I spoke to you about where is the best place to place ad links units on your site, and the fact that it depends entirely on how your navigation works, whether it's left to right or up and down. Look at the way I've used this. It fits in perfectly with this site. It matches the left to right navigation and sits perfectly right here at the top of the page, so that anybody who's landing on this page, they're aware of the different sections. They may click on some of the ads down here, but they're also going to get another alternative set of listings here. So think about using ad links in this way. If you've got maybe links pages, or you've got navigation that goes left to right like this, it's a great way to get additional revenue from your site. Now what I found when I added this is that it doesn't take away from your existing ads. It actually provides additional revenue. I was fearful that it was going to actually divert away from my normal AdSense ads, but what it did is actually added more revenue. And I think the reason for that is that people saw it as, there was different routes. It was offering them more information. Again, it goes back to this thing with Google. As long as it's relevant and it's useful, people will click on it. And again, obviously it matches with the site. It's got no border, it's got no color, background color matches the color of the site, and the links match the color scheme for the site. So, think about using ad links in that way. Remember I said you've got to have 3 ad units plus an ad links unit per page. On this particular page, I've only got 1 ad unit plus an ad link, and the reason for that is because of the content. There isn't a massive amount of content on this page, so I didn't want to overdo it. But if you've got a full page of content, a full article, always have 3 ad units plus an ad link unit on that page. Okay, so how do you actually go about adding this in? Let me give you a tip on actually adding AdSense into your site that is going to save you a massive amount of time. This is an article from one of my sites, and you can see here it's pulled in this ad. Now a simple way to do that is to obviously you go off to your Google, to your AdSense login, you grab the code, copy and paste it, and you would insert it into this particular page. So I'd go into my web editor, I'd find the page for this article, and then paste in the code for all this Google AdSense ads to appear. Now the only problem with that is if I decide to change something, I've got to then go back. Let's just, for example, say I want to change the color of a link or the size of the ad. I've got to then go back to every single article on my site, find this code, go back and edit it. So there's things you can do to shortcut that. The simplest way is to either use a template and call it in from a template, or I just use a simple PHP code. This is from the actual code for that article. So this is behind the scenes how that article is built up. So you can see this. The ban is dead, long live the ban by Michael Cini. that's this. This is the code that for that part. And then I haven't got all the usual AdSense code. You know, it goes on for ages, JavaScript, all that. I haven't got that. All I've done is I've used this PHP command, an include command that says go and get me this file, articles top ads.php, that resides in a particular directory on my site. So I create this file, articles top ads.php, and I'll show you that in a moment. And I've just included this PHP remark. So what that does is it says for this particular article, when it gets to here, it's saying go and get this particular file. And this file, the articles top ad, this is the file here. So this contains all the script from Google, but it's just resides in one place on my server. So let me just demonstrate this. Loads and loads of articles, okay, on my server, and every article is saying, go and get me this file. 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 Using that include command, saying go and get this file. So I haven't actually included this script directly in the page. I've just said go and get me this entire file. So what that means is if I want to make changes to each of these pages in terms of the type of ads that's showing or the color or the size or whatever, all I need to do is go and change this one file and it updates all the hundreds of articles I've got on the site. So it's a great time-saving device that you should use. So I've shown you now various different formats that you can use. This for me is one of the best ad formats, one of the best sizes, 336 by 280, which just to show you is this size. Now it won't work for every site, it depends on how much content you've got, exactly how your content works, but this to me is a good size, it fits in well. Now I will show you in a subsequent video the best technique that I use, that it totally obliterated my click-through rate. I could not believe it when I tried this. It was just a breakthrough moment. It was like an aha moment. I just could not believe it. No bull at all. I couldn't believe it. It was an overnight sensation to me. It was nothing short of that, honestly. So I will show you that. So don't go ahead and pile all these size of ads directly on your site just now, because there are better ways. But these are very, very effective. And what you've got to do is you've got to test, as we'll look at. You've got to try things out, particularly for your site. But placing this size of ad is very effective for my site. And if you've got a similar site with content in this sort of size, page layout similar, then it's going to work for you as well. So how do you actually go and change these things? Well, obviously, we said about changing the color. All you would do is when you go up and set up a campaign, you choose the size of ad that you're looking for. So let's just say we're going for this 336 by 280 large rectangle. You can then obviously set your palettes, but this is where you would actually change the color. Now normally you might have some sort of border color there, that's what it would look like, but what I'm saying to you is you've got to blend it in with your site. Get rid of the borders. You know, don't have a background that stands out, have a background that blends in with your site. You know, don't have text that stands out, it looks different from your site. Have text that looks exactly the same as what's on your site, and match this URL. Remember, some people will, go for the Google Green or whatever. Don't do it. Don't do it. I recommend you don't do it. Keep it so that it blends in, so these two things blend in, and you're actually emphasizing this headline here. Okay, that's a few items we've gone through there in terms of the format of the ad, the size of the ad that you should be looking at, how you can actually get more ads onto your site and more revenue from each of those ads. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to send you to the actions page, go through each of these steps, listen to this video again, and learn from what we're talking about here and build on what we've learned before. It's probably a good time about now to revisit the other videos right up until this video to actually refresh what we've gone through so far. But remember, you've got to get the core concepts right. There's no point rushing through this, skipping on to the last video if you're not totally familiar with what we've gone through already and you've not actually gone through each of the action points for each of the videos.